Hello. In this video we're going to be talking about preference ballots and preference schedules. The maybe normal type of voting, you would write the candidate that you prefer the most down on a piece of paper, or sometimes you raise your hand for a particular candidate depending on the situation. So that would be a single choice ballot. We won't spend too much time talking about a single choice ballot because these are things that we just don't use, and any information that we could get from a single choice ballot we can get from a preference ballot. So we'll almost always be using preference ballots when we're doing our voting systems or voting methods that we are going to be learning about. So what a preference ballot is it is ranking all of the candidates in the election. So that's what you would do. There are two different ways for you to make your preference ballot. One would be to list the names in the order from the one that you like the most down to the one that you like the least. Another way would be to get a ballot that has all of the names on it already, and you would write down one for your most favored candidate, and depending on how many candidates there are in the election, let's say that there are 4 candidates, then you would list your most favored candidate as number 1, your least favored candidate then as number 4. I will write down the definition of a preference ballot, and then we'll talk about what a preference schedule is. Okay, so one thing that I did not mention before was there is also something called a truncated preference ballot, and in a truncated preference ballot, you would only rank your top number of candidates. So I wrote the word number there because it could be different. It might be the top 3, it could be the top 4, maybe the top 5. It depends on the situation and what you're told to do. And so this you would use oftentimes when there are a lot of candidates. So maybe there are 10 candidates, and then you would be asked to give your top 3, your favorite 3, and you also list them from your favorite down to your least favorite. So that is a truncated preference ballot. Next, we're going to talk about a preference schedule. And so a preference schedule is all of the ballot information in tabular form. So it's all of our ballot information in tabular form. In this example, we're going to take a look at how to create a preference schedule. The Math Appreciation Society, the MAS, is a student club dedicated to an unsung but worthy cause, that of fostering the enjoyment and appreciation of mathematics among college students. The MAS chapter at Tasmania State University is holding its annual election, and there are 4 candidates running are Alicia, Boris, Carmen, and Dave. We're going to call them A, B, C, D for short, and we're going to create a preference schedule for the MAS officer election. So here is part of the ballots for this election, and so what you want to do is you want to put in our table, so the very first ballot is A, B, C, D. And so you would count all of the ballots that have A, B, C, D as their preference. And if you go through and count all of them, there are a total of 14 of them. And so that's what you would do for all of the different preferences that there are for the voters. So this next ballot has BDCA on it. And so you would count all of the ballots that are also BDCA. There are a total of 4 of those. And you would keep on going. So we already have A, B, C, D down. Here's a new one, CBDA. And so you would count all of the ballots that have their preference as CBDA. There are a total of 10 ballots that have the order or have the preference CBDA on them. And so we would continue working our way through this to get all of them. Another one would be DCBA. And if you count all of those, there's a total of 8. And the other one is CDBA. And there was only one of those. This is all of the different ballots that we had. There were a total of 14 ballots that had the preferences of A, B, C, D. 4 of the voters had the preferences of B, D, C, A. 10 of them CBDA, 8 of them DCBA, and 1 of them CDBA. So we can also tell how many voters there were. You would just add up the number of ballots that we had. So 14 plus 4 plus 10 plus 8 plus 1. And so we have 18, 36, 37 voters. Okay, so that is it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.